Hey there, are you a mom or a dad who has found that smoking or vaping and drinking wine or having a drink at the end of the day has become your guilty pleasure? And is it something that maybe you feel like a little trapped in, even though you also see it as a treat? Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through why, it's easy to fall into this treat trap, and that seems exciting and like a great reward, but then ultimately leaves us feeling bad, guilty, and a little concerned about our health. My name is Rita Black. I am a clinical hypnotherapist, a smoking cessation specialist. I am a former pack-and-a-half-a-day smoker. I've helped over 10,000 people become happy, healthy non-smokers, including a lot of moms and a lot of dads, because there are a lot of moms and dads who are secret smokers or who are out there smoking, and also will gather with other moms and dads and smoke when the kiddies are in bed or what have you. And just so you know, I'm also a parent. So I totally of two kids who are still living in my house. So they're a little older than the younger kids, but still I know what having two children is like. And so we're going to talk about how the whole parenting thing feeds into the smoking and the drinking. And, it's really not your fault. It is something that a lot of parents absolutely fall into. So let's get started. So why do we fall into this, having a drink, having smoking at the end of the day? Now, you might be somebody who is a habitual everyday smoker, or you might just be somebody who only smokes at night once you get the kids to bed. Either way, often we see that retreat time where we go sit outside with that glass of wine and our cigarettes as this like alone time treat, and it is the absolute escape. Now, see, in your subconscious mind, a cigarette isn't just the tobacco rolled in paper, because often once you light a cigarette, you're there with the wine and your phone, watching Netflix, or, playing a game, or, answering texts or talking to a friend on the phone. But the cigarette symbolizes like this portal into this experience that you absolutely value, that it's so secretive, because if anybody saw you doing it, you would be horrified. So even knowing that, it just makes it even better, because it's just this little mysterious secret that you have with yourself, or, you keep it hidden from your kids, or a lot of people do sometimes that you don't. So either way, or maybe it's something you and your husband do at the end of the day together. That is something that bonds you together, and it's your intimacy, right? So the weird thing is the brain sees the cigarette as that portal into that experience, but it isn't the experience. Most of what you experience is not the cigarette, but it is the permission to sit and do nothing, and to get into your own little world after having to serve everybody else all day long, right? You wake up and, for parents, unlike those people who don't parent, who don't know what time is, like the lack of time is, like you wake up into a world of taking care of people, places, and things. And maybe you get in your car and you do some more at work, or maybe you stay at home and you continue to take care of people, places, and things from home. But by the end of the day, after making dinner and cleaning dishes and taking care of homework and all of those things that we have to do when we're parents, laundry, filling out school forms, making sure everybody's sane and healthy and happy before we make ourselves healthy and happy, it's time to sit down, pour that drink, sit outside, and it's mama time, right? And that's the ultimate escape, and we get addicted to that feeling of so we start to think that the wine and the cigarette equals that feeling. Although we create the feeling actually from within us, they actually ultimately deaden that feeling. But we'll get into that in a second. But they become the portal into that permission that you grant yourself. All right, next. When you hang out with your girlfriends or other moms, or, if you're a dad, other dads, or parents hanging out together, the cigarette equals party, let my hair down, and really connect with my friends now in this tribal way, because we're now all being bad moms, right? You know, like the movie Bad Moms, like bad moms, smoking, drinking, we're in charge, nobody, we work hard, get away from us, kids banned, because it's our time, right? So that cigarette really equals that entree into that world. So now you would think, well, that sounds pretty good to me, right? Like mama needs her time. So cigarette and that wine equals mama time seems like a pretty good solve. However, there's a trap involved in all of that, because we go to bed and we feel that heaviness in our chest, or we wake up the next day and we're coughing a little bit and we're like, God, why am I doing this? I'm killing myself and my poor kids. Like, why am I smoking? I have kids, and then we feel guilty and like a bad mom. But now not the bad mom like the good way, but the bad mom like I'm a bad mother because I'm going to leave these children childless, or whatever, you know, wherever our brain goes. And then, you know, we also feel like a sneak because we are, you know, we have to hide the smell, and we have to, you know, we have to work extra hard to make sure that our kids don't know, or if we don't care and our kids do know, we still, you know, just feel like somewhat like a sneak. Maybe we hide it from other parents. And we feel stupid, you know, we're like, why am I still doing this? You know, I'm in my 30s or in my 40s or in my 50s, and, you know, my kids are getting older and they know what's going on, and I'm setting a bad example for them, and I don't look powerful. I look like I'm an addict, and I don't like that, right? So ultimately, even though it may seem like a treat, it makes us feel like an addict, and it makes us feel bad about ourselves, and it makes us feel worried about our health, right? So we're weighing up these two things. So how do we solve this problem? So one thing is to understand, sorry about my little, you know why I do this? It's really interesting why I have these little boards. It's because the mind works better observing information this way than it does like if I had a fancy pants digital shooby-dooby-doo. You know, this is like teaching. So I hope you'd appreciate, I mean, you don't have to appreciate it, but this is why I do it, because it actually helps the brain process. So I hope, anyway, moving on. So what we want to do, so in order to, like, let's say we want to still treat ourselves at the end of the day, but we want to now change it up. Like, we want to have a healthier option. We want to have an option that gives us our power, gives us our health, gives us our self-esteem and our confidence, but still, you know, lets us feel like we're rewarding ourselves at the end of the day. So the first thing is we want to absolutely still give ourselves permission. The biggest mistake most people make is they strip away, okay, well, if I'm not going to drink and I'm not going to smoke, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to do chores. I'm going to finish up those things. I'm going to be productive. You know, and then they don't talk to their husband. They go and they do more chores. And then they're wondering, like, why am I missing my cigarettes and wine? And it's usually because they've stopped giving themselves permission to take a break, because the cigarette marks time. It's like, well, if I'm going to go smoke 3 cigarettes, that's going to take 40 minutes, and that's my time. And that's the time I have. So you need to still mark time to say, I have 40 minutes or, you know, an hour after I get the kids to just do mindless stuff, because your mind actually needs a break in this time. If you keep focusing, if you say, well, I'm going to go work on my taxes, or I'm going to go, you know, do something that takes my another type of focus, your brain, after you get those kids to bed, especially if they're young, needs to kind of go stare at a wall and go blah, 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 blah for a minute. Because let's face it, after being yum, yum, yum all day long, the kids, ram, 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 mom, this, I know, and then all of a sudden you're like, quiet. You need to take advantage of that. So you need to take permission. And now this is the key to this is to practice it in your mind first. So what I would suggest is in the morning, like, let's say you were going to start doing this tomorrow, like breaking the wine and cigarette habit. What you want to do is practice what you're going to do instead in your mind in the morning. That's when you have the most willpower. By 5 o'clock, we have zero willpower left, especially when we're parents, because all of that willpower has been used up over the course of the day. So you can't hope to get to the end of the day and not smoke and drink if you haven't prepared your mind first. So you really want to start to practice in your mind, like, okay, after I put the kids to bed, I see myself going to the fridge. I'm going to get some nice seltzer water with some lemon, and I'm going to get my book, or I'm going to get my trashy magazine, or I'm going to give myself permission to sit and play my game. Maybe I can sit outside if I live in a nice climate that allows me to do that, because you maybe are still enjoying that. Or maybe I'll go find a quiet corner and do that. Or maybe my husband and I will sit down and have a cup of tea together and converse and enjoy each other's company. But what you're doing is you're inviting yourself into this new reward scenario, and you're doing so in your mind first, so your mind gets used to that idea, and it's a lot easier to glide into that rather than getting there and going, well, I'm not going to smoke or drink tonight. What am I going to do? And then what will happen is your mind will hit a little like rut, like, and then you'll smoke and drink. So practice that ahead in your mind first. Then the other thing is, when you're hanging out with your friends, you can still be the non-smoker who hangs out with your friends as a non-smoker, and they really aren't going to think that you're a jerk. They're actually going to want to be like you, right? Like most people who smoke desperately want to stop smoking. So we get into this tribal mentality of like, we all have to be doing the same thing. As long as you make everybody else feel like they're okay if they smoke, like if you're like, you guys go ahead, it's not making me feel good. So I'm just gonna, I'll be a non-smoker, but you guys go ahead and smoke. I'll waft in your fumes. Like the more at ease you make people feel, then the second they light a cigarette, they aren't even thinking about their cigarette anymore. And you're going to see how owned they are by their cigarettes. And you're going to be glad that you're a non-smoker. You can still have the glass of wine with them, but you're having that glass of wine as a non-smoker. Okay. Now, if you want more tools, if you want to really get that transition from smoker to non-smoker, I have a free masterclass. I have such a mom brain and a menopausal brain that I can't even remember if I've told you about my free masterclass yet. But anyway, if I haven't, I'm telling you now. But if I have, I'm telling you again that join my free masterclass. There's a link to it somewhere around here. And in that masterclass, you're going to get some stuff. You're going to get some training so that you can leave that masterclass and go stop smoking, take back your power, and be that power woman, man, mama that you really want to be, like a powerful non-smoking mama, right? So here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn the 3 mistakes that most people make that keep them smoking, that keep them in that stop smoking cycle. You're going to learn the 3 things that you can do that are going to help you eliminate withdrawal, cravings, and weight gain when you stop smoking, or feeling deprived when you quit smoking. And you're going to get my 4-part stop smoking process that has helped over 10,000 people stop smoking easily and happily, in one session. So you're going to learn all of that stuff, and we're going to have more fun together. But you got to come, you got to sign up. So sign up somewhere here, down below, or over here, probably not up there, but sign up, and I will look forward to seeing you in class. And here's my parting thought, that you as a mom are a powerful role model for your kids. And you have given them so much. And even if they don't even know that you smoke, your becoming a non-smoker, which I know you can do, will change you. It will change your confidence. It will change the way you feel about yourself. It will change the way you hold yourself in the world, and you will be modeling that fabulous behavior for your kids, like really, truly taking care of yourself, really, truly showing up for yourself. But it starts with you making that decision that that's who you're going to be and what you're committed to. And once you make that commitment from deep within and use your mind effectively, you can absolutely stop smoking easily and effortlessly. So I look forward to seeing you in class. and have a fabulous day. I look forward to serving you in the future. Thank you.